Have you ever felt like the world pushes back against you for no reason? Like no matter how pure your heart is or how well you treat others, you still face resistance, judgment, or even outright hostility. That's not random. It's proof of something powerful within you. Your presence is different. It shakes things up. It unsettles those who are used to hiding in the shadows. Whether you realize it or not, you carry an energy that exposes truth, disrupts negativity, and demands transformation. Not everyone can handle that. Some will be drawn to you like a lifeline. Others will try to undermine you out of fear. This isn't just about everyday challenges, it's about a deeper, unseen reality. The light inside you isn't just for show, it's a weapon. And when it shines, darkness has only two choices: to flee or to fight. If you've ever wondered why certain people seem to react so strongly to you, why obstacles appear out of nowhere, or why you feel like you're constantly being tested, there's a reason. You're not just anyone, you're one of the chosen. Let's uncover the 7 undeniable signs that prove your very existence terrifies the forces of darkness. Because once you understand what you're up against, you'll never doubt your power again. And the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not comprehend it. John 1:5. Imagine walking into a dimly lit room, carrying a lantern so bright that it exposes every shadowy corner. Some will welcome the light, grateful to finally see clearly, but others, those who have grown comfortable in the darkness, will flinch, recoil, even lash out, not because of who you are, but because of what your light represents. You didn't come to start a fight, but your presence alone feels like an attack to those who thrive in the unseen places. Stay connected to the message. Hit subscribe now and step into your purpose. Your journey starts today. This is why you experience an unspoken resistance, a hostility that seems to follow you even when you've done nothing to deserve it. It's not just coincidence. It's not just bad luck. You walk into a space, and suddenly, the energy shifts. Eyes narrow. Conversations stop. You can feel it in the air, an invisible tension rising the moment you step in. People who don't even know you seem irritated by you. Strangers give you cold stares. Colleagues who were fine a moment ago suddenly turn distant, critical, or outright hostile. It leaves you wondering, what did I do? Why does this keep happening? But the truth is, it was never about what you did. It's about what you carry. The spirit within you disrupts the spiritual atmosphere around you. Some people are carrying things they don't even recognize, and when your light exposes it, they react instinctively. Just like turning on a light makes the creatures of the night scatter, your presence forces hidden forces to the surface. They may not be able to explain why they feel uneasy around you, but you know. It's not about personalities or misunderstandings. It's spiritual. You are moving in a frequency that unsettles anything that's not aligned with it. Your very existence calls people higher, and not everyone wants to rise. Some would rather stay where they are, undisturbed in their familiar darkness. You may see this play out in many ways. A boss who always seems to find fault with your work, even when you've done nothing wrong. A family member who picks arguments out of nowhere. A friend who suddenly distances themselves for no reason. It's in the coldness from a stranger at the grocery store, the unnecessary rudeness from a cashier, or the tension in a room that had nothing to do with you until you arrived. Stay connected to the message. Hit subscribe now and step into your purpose. Your journey starts today. And let's be real, this can be frustrating. It can be painful. It can feel isolating to constantly face hostility when all you want is peace. But this is not a sign that you are failing. This is a sign that you are set apart. The opposition you face is confirmation of your calling. If you weren't a threat, they wouldn't react at all. What's happening is not rejection, it's revelation. It's revealing who's who, what's what, and where the real battle is. You are not here to blend in. You are not here to make darkness comfortable. You were made to shift things. You were made to expose what's hidden, to carry truth in a world drowning in deception. And the moment you fully embrace that, the enemy loses his power over you. So the next time you walk into a room and feel that resistance, don't shrink back. Stand firm. Hold your ground. Because the light in you is stronger than any shadow that tries to silence it. And when you refuse to be dimmed, you force the darkness to either change or flee. What's truly happening is a clash of energies, an unspoken war between the light you carry and the unseen shadows that linger in others. Your presence disturbs something dormant, stirring discomfort in those who have embraced negativity as their comfort zone. It's not you they resist, but what emanates from within you, an undeniable force that disrupts the hidden forces they have aligned themselves with. This resistance manifests in many ways. A colleague who dismisses you for no clear reason, a stranger who bristles at your presence, or a group that subtly isolates you without cause. These interactions serve as echoes of an invisible battle, proof that your essence is not easily ignored. This phenomenon is not a reflection of your worth, but an indicator of your spiritual power. When your presence alone unsettles the unseen, it's because the light you carry forces the darkness to acknowledge itself, something it would rather avoid. The tension you encounter is a sign that your energy is potent, that it challenges hidden influences without a word being spoken. Understanding this dynamic transforms frustration into clarity, empowering you to navigate these moments with strength and awareness. No weapon formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue which rises against you in judgment you shall condemn. Isaiah 54:17. Imagine a blacksmith hammering a sword over an open flame, striking the metal again and again. The fire is scorching, the pressure is relentless, and the pounding never seems to stop. But without the fire, without the hammering, that piece of metal would never become a weapon. It would never gain its strength. It would never be refined into something powerful. That's exactly what's happening in your life. The trials, the opposition, the setbacks, they aren't here to destroy you. They are here to forge you. The weight of resistance pressing against you is no accident. You're not being singled out because you're weak. You're being tested because of the power that resides within you. It's as if life keeps turning up the heat, placing you in situation after situation designed to push you to your breaking point. And maybe you've asked yourself, why does it seem like I face more battles than others? Why is it that every time I take one step forward, something tries to pull me 2 steps back? It's because what you carry is different. You are not ordinary. You are set apart. There is something inside you that makes darkness nervous. And because of that, resistance follows you wherever you go. Not because you've done anything wrong, but because your very existence challenges the forces that want to keep people asleep. If you were insignificant, the enemy wouldn't bother with you. But the fact that you feel like you're constantly under attack, that's proof that you are a threat to the darkness. This is your moment. Hit subscribe now and step into something greater. Don't miss out. Think about it. Gold is tested by fire. Diamonds are formed under pressure, and swords are forged by the strike of a hammer. If what you carried inside of you wasn't valuable, life wouldn't be this hard. The opposition you face isn't random, it's targeted. The forces working against you are trying to make you doubt yourself, to break your spirit, to make you quit before you step into your full power. That's why the trials seem unending. That's why, while others around you seem to float through life with minor troubles, your challenges feel like they never stop coming. You aren't just dealing with ordinary struggles. You're walking through a battlefield where unseen forces are trying to wear you down. But here's the good news. Every trial you faced, every challenge that was supposed to break you, has only made you stronger. Look back at everything you've survived. The times you thought you wouldn't make it, the moments you felt like you had nothing left to give. Yet, you're still standing. You're still here. That's not by accident. That's because your spirit is unshakable, and that's what the enemy fears the most. The fact that no matter how much pressure has been placed on you, no matter how many times life has tried to knock you down, you rise, again and again. So when the battles keep coming, when you feel like you're being tested beyond what seems fair, remember who you are. This is not happening to you. It's happening for you. You are being refined, strengthened, and prepared. Because what's coming next requires a level of resilience that only those who have walked through the fire can possess. Hold your ground. Stay firm in your faith. You were never meant to live an ordinary life. You were born to break barriers, to shift atmospheres, and to walk in a power that darkness cannot stand. And no matter how fierce the battle gets, you will not be defeated. This relentless opposition is not a reflection of weakness, but rather a sign of strength. The force within you unsettles what thrives in obscurity, compelling hidden adversaries to surface and test your endurance. There are entities and energies that cannot exist in the presence of something as powerful as your essence, and rather than retreat, they push back in an effort to contain, disrupt, or diminish your influence. It is not about fairness. It is about the nature of power. When something unshakable walks through unstable terrain, the ground will always tremble. Each obstacle, though exhausting, refines you in ways that complacency never could. The trials you endure are not random hardships, but an anvil upon which your resilience is shaped. Every confrontation, every betrayal, every inexplicable challenge carves out a deeper understanding of your purpose. There is a reason you are tested more than most, a reason your journey feels heavier. What you carry is not ordinary, and the forces that stand against you recognize that. But resistance does more than expose weakness. It also affirms strength. When everything seems to conspire against you, it is often because what stands within you cannot be ignored. Enduring these struggles does more than protect your own light. It sends a ripple effect, allowing others to witness perseverance in action. You are not merely weathering storms. You are proving that storms cannot consume you. And that is precisely why the battle rages so fiercely. Whispers swirl in places you've never been, and stories about you take flight without a shred of truth to anchor them. Though your intentions are pure and your path is guided by integrity, false narratives seem to follow you like shadows cast by unseen forces. Lies find eager ears, distortions multiply, and before long, an illusion of you exists that bears no resemblance to reality. It's not merely a matter of misunderstandings or petty jealousy. This is something deeper, a calculated effort to distort, discredit, and diminish. When words become weapons, it is often because there are those who cannot stand against you in any other way. The strength you carry unnerves what lurks in obscurity, and when direct opposition fails, deception becomes the weapon of choice. The goal is not just to damage your reputation, but to isolate you, to make others doubt, to plant seeds of distrust that fracture the connections you build. This is not a new strategy. It is an ancient form of sabotage wielded by those who fear what they cannot control. When falsehoods arise, it is not a reflection of who you are, but of the discomfort your presence stirs in those who thrive in deception. This is your moment. Hit subscribe now and step into something greater. Don't miss out. No lie was ever of the truth. 1 John 2:21. Imagine a tree standing tall in the middle of a raging storm. The wind howls, the rain beats against its branches, and the ground trembles beneath it. But the tree does not fall. Why? Because its roots run deep. It has been planted in solid ground. The storm may shake it, leaves may scatter, but when the skies clear, that tree is still standing. That's exactly how truth works. Lies may roar like a violent wind, but they have no roots, no real foundation. And when the storm passes, what was built on deception is swept away, leaving only what is real. There will be times in life when false words are spoken against you, rumors that have no merit, accusations designed to tarnish your name. It may come from those you least expect, from people who once stood beside you, or from voices in the distance that don't even know you. Lies have a way of spreading fast, like a wildfire jumping from branch to branch. And when it happens, it can feel like an attack aimed straight at your soul. But here's what you must remember. Truth is unshakable. It is not swayed by opinions, nor is it erased by gossip. No matter how loud the noise gets, no matter how much the opposition tries to twist the narrative, what is real will always outlast what is false. This is why you don't need to fight every battle that comes your way. When you are rooted in truth, you don't have to chase down every lie, trying to prove yourself. You don't have to waste your energy correcting every false statement spoken about you. Time itself will do the work. What is hidden in darkness will be exposed by the light. What is built on deception will crumble under the weight of its own emptiness. Think about the ones who have tried to tear you down before. The moments when someone spoke against you, hoping to see you stumble. Yet, where are they now? Where are those words they once used to attack your character? The lies faded, but you remained. You endured. Because truth is not fragile. It does not need defense. This is why you cannot allow slander to poison your spirit. The enemy's goal is to distract you, to get you so caught up in trying to fight back that you lose sight of your purpose. But that's the real test: to stay unmoved, to refuse to let bitterness take root, to understand that your worth is not determined by the words of others, but by the unshakable foundation you stand on. So when you hear the whispers of falsehood, when you see others attempt to misrepresent who you are, stand firm. Do not shrink. Do not retaliate in anger. Do not lower yourself to their level. Because at the end of the day, it is not their words that define you. It is your truth that will stand the test of time. Let the storm rage if it must. But remember, storms pass. And when the clouds break, when the winds settle, you will still be standing, stronger than before, while every lie that was spoken against you will have vanished like mist in the morning sun. Every movement is noted, every word measured, as if unseen forces are waiting for a crack to appear. The eyes that follow are not those of admiration or curiosity, but of analysis, scrutinizing, dissecting, searching for a weakness. It's an observation that feels more like surveillance, as though your very existence demands an explanation. This relentless focus is not about what you have done, but what you represent. When an unshakable presence enters a space, Those who operate in obscurity become uneasy. The light that radiates disrupts the comfort of concealment, forcing everything hidden into awareness. This attention is not random. It is an instinctive reaction from those who do not understand or cannot accept what they sense in you. Some watch with doubt, hoping for failure to validate their discomfort. Others observe in silence, torn between skepticism and the undeniable pull of something they cannot quite name. Their judgment is swift, their standards impossibly high, not because they seek fairness, but because acknowledging your strength means confronting what they refuse to face within themselves. The weight of their gaze can feel suffocating, as if walking a path where every step is magnified, every choice exaggerated beyond proportion. Yet the burden of being observed so intensely is also a revelation. What is closely examined is often what holds the most value. The attempt to find flaws is a quiet admission of the force that exists within you. Each choice made with integrity, each step taken without faltering, only strengthens the truth that cannot be undone. This scrutiny, though exhausting, serves a purpose beyond its immediate discomfort. It challenges not only you, but those who watch, forcing them to question, to reconsider, and perhaps to awaken. When held under a lens, remain unshaken, for what withstands relentless examination is something unbreakable. Tensions rise in your presence, and situations that should be trivial seem to escalate without cause. Subtle provocations, veiled insults, and carefully crafted confrontations seem to follow you, as if unseen forces are searching for the precise moment you will break character. The goal is not just to challenge your patience, it is to pull you into a state that contradicts the essence of who you are. The energy that flows through you is disruptive to those who thrive in discord, and when they cannot diminish it, they seek instead to taint it. This is not random friction or ordinary conflict. It is an intentional effort to extract a reaction that aligns with their own chaotic nature. To those who resist truth, your presence is an uncomfortable reminder of what they have buried. If they can coax you into responding with frustration, anger, or negativity, they believe they can diminish the force that unsettles them. It is an attempt to make you forget what you carry, to momentarily step away from your strength and into the turmoil they have long accepted as reality. Yet the true test is not in avoiding these moments, but in mastering them. Each attempt to provoke is an opportunity to reaffirm the depth of your presence. By choosing not to react in the way they expect, by standing firm in a calm resolve, you not only defy their expectations, but you expose the futility of their efforts. Silence becomes more powerful than argument. Restraint becomes more impactful than retaliation. The refusal to be moved by chaos is the very thing that strengthens the energy they wish to dismantle. The battle is not in the words exchanged or the emotions stirred. It is in the decision to remain unshaken. What is steady cannot be drawn into disarray. Those who seek to challenge your nature do so because they recognize its power. And when their efforts fail, it is not just you who walks away unchanged. It is they who are forced to confront the reality that their darkness holds no claim over your light. Some people are inexplicably drawn in, seeking your presence like a source of quiet strength, while others instinctively withdraw, unsettled without understanding why. The reactions you provoke are not rooted in simple preference or personality clashes. They emerge from something deeper, an unspoken recognition of what lies beneath the surface. Your energy, unfiltered and unwavering, acts as a silent force that either comforts or disrupts. To those aligned with growth and truth, you are a steadying presence, offering clarity in a world often clouded by confusion. They may not always be able to articulate why, but they recognize in you something familiar, an anchor, a kindred spirit, a reminder of their own journey towards something greater. For them, your presence is a refuge, a space where they feel understood without the need for explanation. But not everyone responds with warmth. There are those who recoil, who avoid eye contact, who tense at your approach as if bracing against an unseen force. It is not personal, nor is it something they consciously choose. The energy you carry acts as a mirror, exposing what they have long ignored. It brings into focus the unresolved, the uncomfortable, the truths they would rather keep hidden. When faced with a presence that disrupts their carefully constructed sense of self, their instinct is to retreat, to resist, before acknowledging what lurks beneath. This contrast between attraction and avoidance is a sign of the influence you carry. It is not mere charisma, nor is it happenstance. The way people react to you speaks to their own internal landscape, revealing what they are ready to embrace and what they are desperate to avoid. Understanding this dynamic frees you from the need to question their responses. Whether drawn in or repelled, the reaction itself is proof of the light that sets you apart. Something about your presence ignites a shift in those around you. Even the most skeptical, the ones who once resisted your energy or dismissed your influence, find themselves confronted with an undeniable force, one that does not demand change but inspires it. This is not persuasion, nor is it the result of carefully chosen words. It is the quiet, yet powerful impact of simply being. Without effort, without intention, your existence alone has the ability to stir something dormant in others, awakening within them the realization that transformation is possible. There is no force behind this change, no obligation or expectation. It happens in the most subtle of ways, through a single act of kindness, a moment of unwavering integrity, or an example of resilience that refuses to be extinguished by adversity. It is a presence that lingers, a reflection that latches onto the corners of someone's mind long after you've gone. They may not understand it at first. At times, it may even frustrate them, forcing them to confront the aspects of themselves they have long ignored. But once the seed is planted, it begins to take root. This awakening is not an instant revelation, but a slow unraveling of old patterns, a questioning of perspectives once held as absolute. It may begin with an unease, an internal resistance to the very darkness that once felt familiar. Or perhaps it emerges as a curiosity, an unshakable feeling that there is more beyond what they have known. The shift is subtle, but irreversible. Once the light touches the edges of their consciousness, they can no longer unsee it. But the role in this is not to push, not to force, or even to guide. The only requirement is to remain authentic, to exist fully, without shrinking or diluting the energy that naturally emanates. The change that happens in others is not something to claim, but something to witness. Not every person will walk this path, and not everyone will allow themselves to be moved. But for those who do, the impact is immeasurable. The influence is not just in illumination, but in transformation, the quiet dismantling of what once was, making way for something greater. Moving through life with an undeniable presence often means encountering resistance that defies logic. A force within radiates outward, shaping the world in ways that cannot be ignored, stirring reactions both seen and unseen. It is not a matter of chance or misfortune, but rather the inevitable clash between that which illuminates and that which resists exposure. The trials faced are not random obstacles, but echoes of a greater unseen battle, one that stretches far beyond the surface of daily encounters. This is your moment. Hit subscribe now and step into something greater. Don't miss out. Understanding this truth reframes the challenges ahead, not as burdens to bear, but as confirmations of the impact already made. When faced with opposition, when others respond with unexplained hostility or attempt to stifle what cannot be contained, it is a sign of the weight carried. A force that is neutral does not provoke, only that which disrupts the stagnant, that which shifts the balance, draws attention from forces both uplifting and opposing. The task is not to dim or retreat, but to hold firm, to continue forward, despite the weight of the shadows pressing in. Every action taken with purpose, every moment of resilience, becomes a living testament to the strength that refuses to be diminished. In this journey, no step is without meaning, no trial without purpose.